think I'm live. I don't know. How do I check that? I think it says I'm live now. Okay. Is it live? I think it is. Okay. Hopefully all my settings are right. I think my microphone looks like it's working. Yeah. Okay. Hello. I don't know if anyone will turn up while I'm actually live. So if you're watching the replay, hello. I did kind of do this slightly last minute and then I thought I was going to have to cancel, but yeah, I'm so behind on all of my book discussion lives. So I'm just going to do it. And if no one turns up, that's fine. People can watch the replay if they want to hear my thoughts on their books. But this is the live show for the first 3 Abby Jimenez books. I was going to do the lives separately originally, but not to spoil my thoughts on the books, but I'm just going to do them all together in the one live. 1, because I'm already so behind on the live shows, but 2, I don't know. I just don't want to do 3 lives. So I guess because I'm just doing a last minute live, should I just go into it? I don't know, because I don't think I don't know if I should wait. I think I'm just going to go for it. And then, because I think most likely people are probably going to watch the replay maybe, which if you are, perhaps comment and let me know. I don't know if it's just so hard for me to organize lives because I don't know, just mum life. But I like it when I do them and I can get people's feedback in real time. But I don't know, should I just not do a live and then just do a spoiler discussion video and then people can just watch it whenever? Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like the whole point of a live is so that people can interact live. But I can never organize it with enough time to let people know. I don't know. So yeah, if you're watching the replay, let me know. Do you think I should just do this as an actual just video that I post with spoilers and then we can chat in the comments? I don't know. It's only because then at least I can record it whenever and I can edit out if Kian needs something or whatever. I can have it. I don't have to do it on the day live. I don't know, but I do like live discussions. I just feel like when I've done them and they've gone well, they were fun. I don't know. I'm just in a rut with reading and content wise. But anyway, I'm just going to go into my presentation so that I'm not waffling for too long, which I think is here. Okay. Yes. So we are discussing all 3 of the books in this first series. So I don't know, I guess if you're watching this and you're not familiar with her books, these first 3 are interconnected series. And then there's the second 3 that she's recently come out with. Those are interconnected, but all 6 of them do crossover in some way, which I had read the most recent 3, but I hadn't read these 3. So that's why I did the read along in quotes, because I am so unorganized with it, but it wasn't intended to be a read along, so that I could read these 3 and then I'm going to reread the 3 that I've read before. So these ones, the characters are all connected, but yeah, like I said, there is connections to the next 3. And I feel like when I get to the discussion for the final book, I don't know, I think it's going to be a better discussion to connect everything. Yeah, I know. I'm just going to keep going. So the first book, we'll start with The Friend Zone, which I remember seeing people talking about this when it first came. I think this came out in 2019, And I did not pick it up because I thought it had a miscarriage in it, but I got that wrong. It was infertility. And that's why I didn't pick it up, because that is when I didn't want to get triggered. And I'm actually glad that I did not read it then. And I only read like her recent ones, because I feel like, not to spoil my rating, but I don't think I would have ended up picking up her later 3 ones, or maybe I would have had a skewed view of that. Yeah, but anyway, the friend zone. So I have the mood board, as I usually do. It's not the most exciting mood board. I was honestly kind of struggling, but I'll tell you about the book now, if I can even remember. Basically, we were following the main character, Kristen, who has, I don't know if they like specified, I think they said, was it PCOS? I don't know. Basically, she has really long and painful periods, which is what I put that on my mood board. If painful periods is on the mood board, I mean, I was struggling to find things to put on there. Anyways, she, at the beginning of the book, gets into this little car accident, not a huge car accident, but like a little run-in when she's driving her friend's fiance's new car. And then she gets out, and she talks to the guy who she ran into, and they have like a little banter. And then she goes to meet up with her friend, and turns out the guy who she ran into is best friends with the friend's fiance. And so that was their little meet cute. And then it's a romance between the two of them. Yeah. And she has this little dog called Stuntman Mike, which the author has that is the author's dog. And she makes like little steps for the dog, like, and dog accessories. And she needs a new like carpenter to help her make the steps. So this guy, what's his name again? Josh, ends up doing that for her. And then, yeah, it goes on from there. Why do I have a measuring cup on the mood board? Was the measuring? Oh, was that this book or a different book? I think she like ate her food or cereal or something out of a measuring cup because she liked the handle. I think that's why I had that on there. I don't know. It's been a while. So I guess I'm just going to go into spoilers, because I feel like if people are watching this, it's probably the replay. So you have time to pause if you don't want spoilers, but I'm just going to talk about spoilers for the whole thing, I think. I guess. So my thoughts on this book, I didn't love it. Yeah, I was a bit disappointed because, yeah, like I said, I've already read the most recent 3 books, and all of those I have loved, and I'm excited to reread them. So for these ones, I didn't have like the highest of expectations, but like it's the same author, so I was pretty excited. I will say I did read this while I was on my period, which was a very immersive experience, considering the main character is having all the period issues. Yeah, I don't know what my rating is. Maybe a 3. My problem with this whole entire book is the whole book is just the miscommunication trope, which is like my least favorite trope ever. And that's pretty much what the whole book is. Yeah, because basically the main character is having, issues, and she is infertile, or believes to be infertile. And so she's going to have, what's the name of it? Hysterectomy? No, is that the name of it? I don't know. Anyway, so after that operation, she's obviously definitely not going to be able to have biological children. She's basically had issues with, her period forever, and she is sick of it. So she's found a doctor who will do the operation. And so she knows that, and she meets this guy, and he comes from a big family, and he has said that he wants lots of kids. And so she is like, okay, we can never be together because I can't give him the big family that he wants. And so basically she makes that decision for him. Hi, bud. Hold on 1 second. Wait. What's wrong?
I wanted to before you.
Yep, you can wait for me. You want to go in there? Hold on, I'll help you quickly. It won't be too long. It won't be too long. I'm always being interrupted, but what was I saying? Oh yeah, so she makes the decision that she's just not going to tell him the reason why she doesn't want them to be in a relationship, so that he can make the decision for himself about whether, you know. So yeah, it's like a giant miscommunication trope, because he's like, why doesn't she want to be to me? Like, be with me. She's sending me like mixed signals here. Because she hasn't told him the reason and she's keeping that a secret. I know. Anyway, so that was my main thing, where I'm like, you know, you could just tell him and then he can make that decision for himself. Yeah. I was like excited at the beginning because I did like the tension that was kind of happening between them. So I feel like this author does that good. Like, their little meet cute was like really fun, and the beginning was really fun. I didn't like that. The other thing that I didn't like is that the main character, like the male, I just don't like when books, like, they kept going on about how he's like got 6 sisters, so, you know, he's really good with women, and like, he doesn't need to have sisters to be like a kind man. Do you know what I mean? Like, why? It was like pushed a lot, like from the very beginning. Yeah, and then 6 sisters and his mum, blah, 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 blah. And then he was talking about his nieces giving him the cold shoulder, 7 and 8 years old, and they've already mastered the little girl passive-aggressive equivalent of I'm fine. Like, I feel like he was made out to be like really kind to women because he has all these sisters, but then also he was, I don't know, making like jokes about like women. I don't know. I just like, I don't know. I just didn't really like that. But I feel like there's like a couple of books that I've noticed before. I can't think of what they were, but the book being like, you know, they were trying to push that he's so nice because like he has sisters, so he understands women. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't really remember what else I thought about this book. The author really likes to make her books emotional. I will say that. Like, the ending, I wasn't not expecting it, because obviously we know who the second book follows. But yeah, the first book, killing off a character so that the second book can follow the best friend, was, yeah, that did shock me actually. Yeah, overall, I will continue to pick up from this author forever because I do like her books and her writing. It was really easy to fly through. I do like her writing, but I just can't like give it a high rating because I was just like not enjoying it, because like it was just, the whole thing was a miscommunication. So I was kind of like, I don't know. So that's my thoughts on the first book. Again, if you're here watching the replay, let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. I'm going to keep going because I know I'm going to get interrupted by my son again. Also, this is another reason why I'm like, should I just like record these and do it as a spoiler, like recorded thing that I'm posting? Because it will also take out all the interruptions because I can like edit it. But anyway, I'm going to do a fan cast. I know I'm kind of scared to do this because I feel like everyone's going to disagree with me for everything. I have done my fan casts already for like the whole 6 books. And quite frankly, as I always say, I do always say that I never know celebrities. Like, I don't watch like much movies and TV, so it is hard for me to come up with some. But this was like so hard because now between 6 books, there's like so many characters, and obviously like I couldn't double up with the actors. I struggled. So some of these like you may disagree, and that's fine because you probably have a better suggestion than me. So leave a comment if you do have a better suggestion. But for Kristen, and I did see other people suggesting this online, I put Lucy Hale. I don't have any other reasons besides I did see this and I was like, okay, good one. I'll go with that. And then Josh, male actors are really difficult for me, but I put this person because I'm more familiar with actors that were in a lot of movies like in the early 2000s. And I feel like people are probably going to disagree with me for this one. But also, I was looking up the cast of a movie because of someone else I fan casted in a different Abby book, and he was also in this movie. So I've got Channing Tatum. I don't think people would agree with me with that, but he's giving like firefighter. I know that Josh in the book wasn't like an actual firefighter. He was like I don't know, was he like a paramedic or like something firefighter adjacent? I don't know. Like he wasn't, or was he a firefighter? I don't know. I'm tired. I'm sorry. Anyway, that's my fan cast for the first book. Moving on to the second book, The Happy Ever After playlist. First of all, before I get into the actual book, can I talk about the cover? Because as a pink girly, I really hate this cover. Like I really hate it. I just don't like this combination of colors together. This pink with this blue and then this yellow. Because like the first book, this cover is not too bad. Like it's not hideous to me. This one, I love a pink book. I love pink, clearly. Love a pink book. Don't love this. But anyway. And then like they used the blue for the... Moving on. Also, I'm going to say I was delayed on starting this read-along in general because I own the second series. I own those ones. And I didn't own these, but my library had them. So I'm like, okay, perfect. I will get them from the library. The person for the first book did not return it for like over a month. And like I was meant to already have read this and the month was over and they still hadn't returned it. And I'm like, hello. And then the second book came in, but the first book still hadn't come in. I'm like, what the... Anyway, so then I ended up just buying them. So that delayed me. And now I'm like, should I have even bought them? Because not to spoil my rating for this one, but let's just get into the book. Here's my mood board. This one I feel like is much more exciting than the first mood board. But I'll tell you about the synopsis, I guess. So this one, we are following Sloane, who is the best friend of the main character in this book. So she is in this, and it's 2 years after her fiance passes. And yeah, she is driving and a dog jumps through the sunroof of her car. That's the other thing. There is a dog in every single one of these books. I think all 6 of them have a dog or... Is there a dog in that one? Yeah, there is a dog. Or a goat. I don't know. Anyway, they all have a dog. So yeah, the dog jumps through her sunroof and into her car. Oh, no, she sees the dog in the road. She stops in the middle of the road and then the dog jumps into her car and then a policeman comes and it's like, hey, you can't stop in the middle of the road. And she's like, a dog jumped through my roof. And then, yeah, anyway, she tries to get in contact with the owner and she cannot contact him. And so then she was like, you know what? It's a sign. I've got to look after this dog. She takes it to the vet. She starts looking after it and she's calling the owner every single day and he is not answering. Turns out he's not answering because he is overseas in Australia, which also I was listening to the audiobook and the accent, there was like an Australian accent of like someone on the plane. And then also the pronunciation of some Australian cities was not correct, but that's a nitpicky thing. Anyway, yeah, it turns out the owner of the dog is a singer and he is overseas. And so that's why he wasn't answering. He had left the dog in care of someone else and they did not care for the dog, obviously. And so, yes, finally he gets back to her and she's like, no, you obviously don't care about your dog. I'm keeping your dog. And then, they end up speaking and she's like, okay, prove to me that you care about this dog. And then they end up having like a back and forth communication relationship. And obviously it's romance. So yeah. My rating of this one, I don't really know I haven't solidified all of my ratings, but let's just say the rating for this is below a 3. It's definitely not a 3. So I don't know, a 2.5. I really need to read. I'm looking forward to rereading the ones that I actually do like, because I'm having some trouble lately. I'm not been rating things very highly, but I did like the whole beginning. I was really liking their whole relationship, like starting off. I thought it was like fun. My issue with this is I didn't really like the male main character, especially towards the end. Yeah. So yeah, he was on the phone to her, and when she hung up, it says, "I held my phone against the wall," and it breaks. So like, don't love that sort of like aggressive. And I know he was meant to be like this cool musician, but like, I don't know. And then again, him just like choosing, making the decision for her, and it's like, I'll just like push away and tell her, like, I don't know. I just don't really like the main male character. So I feel like that skewed my, like, I don't know. I don't know, guys. I was struggling. But yeah, I just didn't love him. And then when once he like threw his phone against the wall, and like, he just didn't, I don't know, something about him I just didn't like. I don't know. If you're watching this, comment what your thoughts were. But personally, I didn't love him. But like, I just am sad because I really like this author and her writing. Like, I was flying through her books. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to say much more on that. I can't remember. I should have written notes because I don't know. But it's hard, like, when I didn't like enjoy it, I don't want to like rant about it for this whole time. But anyway, let's do my my fan cast. Okay. So Sloane, I'm pretty sure she was described as blonde, and she had tattoos. She was also an artist. That's why this is on the thing. And I don't know, like, she had like doe eyes, or like, I think it described it as having like big brown eyes. And I'm pretty sure this actress does not have brown eyes, but like, she has big eyes. So I feel like that, I don't know. So I've put Sydney Sweeney as Sloane. And then because of that, these two were in a movie together recently. So I have gone with Glenn Powell for Jason. Mostly because I didn't really like this main character, and I don't know who I don't even know if I've watched anything with this actor in it. People I feel like on TikTok are like really obsessed with him. I keep seeing people like on Book Talk fan casting him for like a bunch of books. So people must love him, but something about his face, like, I don't trust him. So yeah, and that's obviously made it easier to like picture them together, because there've been like pictures together of them together. But I am also going to fan cast, because it will be important for later. Lola in the book, there is Lola, who is like a female singer, and she is kind of described as like being like really crazy in this book, and she keeps trying to get with the male main character, and like she's described as like trying to cause trouble and stuff, and we find out things about her. But she is actually part of the crossover to the second 3 Abby Jimenez books. And my fan cast of her, I don't think people are going to... people are going to be like, what the hell, Shani? But because we found out that, look, for future fan casting, just know I will fan cast people if they either have the same name as the book character or they have played someone with the same name as the book character. So we find out that Lola's real name is Nikki, and so this person has played a character named Nikki. And I feel like she could play someone having a mental breakdown, like someone who's like acting kind of erratic pretty well. And it was because I was looking up the Orange is the New Black cast for something else. And then I was like, oh, she played a Nikki. There's a Nikki in this book. So here's who I'm going to use for Lola for the purposes of the presentations. You may agree with that. You may disagree with that. But that's who I'm using for Lola. Yeah. Now I'm going to move on to book number 3 so we can get through this. This one, I also, like, I don't really love this shade of yellow. These are not my favorite book covers, but this one's not, I don't hate as much as this one. This is not my favorite shade of yellow. It's okay, I guess. So here's my mood board for Life's Too Short. This one, we are following a girl named Vanessa, who is a travel YouTuber. And she is currently taking care of her sister's baby. So her sister is not the most stable. She is, or has been, at least at one point, we are told, an addict. And so she has a baby, and then she brings the baby over, and then she just disappears. So now Vanessa is looking after this month-old baby, or I don't know how old the baby was. And so she lives in an apartment, and the baby is just crying and will not stop crying. And Adrian is in the apartment next door. And so he goes over to assist, and he's like, hey, do you want me to hold this baby so you can go and shower and stuff? Because it's the middle of the night. And when she opens the door, she's a bit disheveled. And so she gives this man the baby, and then, that's, I guess, they meet cute, and then they have romance. Adrian is a lawyer, and he wasn't the most exciting character to me. I don't know, he was a little bit boring. There is a dog in this one. There is a geriatric chihuahua. Yeah, I don't know. What are my thoughts on this one? I'm going to rate it again, I think below a 3. I don't know what was going on with me, but I was just struggling to enjoy things. I don't know. I don't even remember why I didn't love this book. Oh, yeah. Duh. The main character is having a lot of health-related issues, I guess. So when the reason she started her channel is because her family has a history of ALS. Is that what it's called? And so her mum died, her sister died not that long ago from it, and then the main character, has a 50% chance of having it herself. And yeah, so she is seeing what she thinks is the beginning symptoms of this. And so when she started her channel, she was bringing awareness to it and discussing it. And yeah, I guess that's how she first got started. And so now in the book, she's seeing some symptoms of it. And yeah, she doesn't want to go for treatment or to go and even be checked out for it, because she said there's no check for it. They just have to check everything else and by process of elimination. Yeah, I was a little bit stressed when I started because I did not want to read a book with a person that is having health issues or a health scare. So that did scare me at the beginning. It was all right, and I made it through it. But again, this was actually all 3 of the, no, not all 3, but at least 2 of these books. I don't know, the main character is just keeping something from the other main character, and is just like making a decision for the second main character and is like, I'm not going to tell them. I'm just going to assume they're not going to want to be with me because of this. And, you know, she could have just told him originally. And then obviously I'm sure, like, if you're watching the replay, you would know I'm in spoilers territory. But then she, like, assumes, he talks to her about it and she assumes that he knows the full story, but he doesn't know the full story. So she assumes that he knows that she is sick and quite possibly dying, but he doesn't. So she's like, oh, he still wants to be with me anyway. But he didn't know that. And then we find out it's not the greatest reaction. I don't know. I don't know if that isn't, I guess that is a miscommunication trope. I don't know. I need to read something that is actually makes me happy, because I just didn't love this book either, and I'm sad. And I already know that I love the next three, so that's positive that all the next discussions are going to be happy. Let's just do my fan cast. I have two options. The first one is because in the book she is described as exactly this actor. I think. Yes. He describes her as, he says, Vanessa was a good-looking woman. She reminded me of that actress. What was her name? Jennifer Lawrence. So that's obviously my first suggestion, because they literally said it. And then Adrian just gave me like kind of, I don't know, I didn't really love him. He was like boring lawyer vibes. So I've put this guy because I saw him suggested for someone else, I think, when I was looking up other people's suggestions. Or maybe I saw someone suggest him for this. I don't know. And then when I was Googling who he was, that's how I got onto the Magic Mike page to get to Channing Tatum for that first book. So I don't know. I was circling through a lot of male actors to try and get here. But my second suggestion is because I will give someone that name, that character. I will give my fan cast to that character if the actor has the same name as the character. I'm tired. I'm so tired. But Vanessa Hudgens has the name Vanessa, and so I was like, maybe this is an option. Yeah, also I was trying to put some like people of color. Vanessa Hudgens is Filipino, but I don't think Filipinos accept her, because Shay Mitchell did the same thing. I don't know what it is about Filipino actresses pretending they're not Filipino. I don't think Filipinos love Vanessa Hudgens, but regardless. Anyway, and then my second one is because at one point, and I'm not going to be able to find it now because I don't remember which one of these tabs it is. Yeah, here we go. No, can find it. They're talking about the Adrian and the baby, because obviously when the baby was crying, he stopped the baby from crying instantly. And so it said, you don't notice it how she calms down faster when you pick her up. She already associates you with feeling safe because you saved her that night. She's imprinting right now. And so for that reason, I've got Taylor Lautner because of a comment about imprinting. So I don't know, let me know which one you prefer, but that's my silly little fan cast for this one. And so here we have the little map that is little now, and I'm working on the map for all 6 books, and it's like really hard to fit into one screen. But the connections so far for the first 3 books are quite simple. It's like a nice little circle. So Kristen from the first book is, that was the other thing I hated about the first book. Sorry to backtrack. The whole book, and again, we're in spoiler territory, obviously. The whole book, she's talking about how she's been infertile. They're discussing like, we could adopt, my sister would be a surrogate, blah, 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 blah. And then in the end, she ends up just getting pregnant naturally anyway. And it's like, we went through all of that struggle. Like, I just feel like she could have represented like the story of a woman who is struggling with infertility without just being like, well, she got pregnant. Like, anyway. So Kristen from the first book is best friends with Sloane from the second book. And Sloane from the second book went out on one date with Adrian from the third book, Adrian, who is cousins with Josh. So we have a nice little circle happening. And yeah, I'll do in the next one will be the connection to the next 3 books. But yes, this is the next book. I'm excited to reread it because I gave it 5 stars. It was my favorite book of the year I read it. And I'm hoping I still give it 5 stars because this first 3 did not go super, super well. I'm going to go back to this because that is basically all I had to say about those books, I think. Yeah, but if you're watching a replay, can you let me know what do you think? Should I just I'm considering just doing recording a video, doing a spoiler discussion and still doing my presentation and then just posting it like a normal video, and then the comments can be the discussion in the comments instead of a live show with a live chat, just because it is so hard for me to organize to do the lives because trying to schedule them around my son, and then I did schedule it last minute and then he got sick. He's better now, but it does make it difficult. And then trying to coordinate people's time zones, because obviously I'm in a different time zone to the US. But then if I do it during the day, people who are working in Australia a 9 to 5 aren't able to make it. So I don't know. Let me know. I might just record a video and do a spoiler discussion and then post that, and then we can discuss in the comments. Yeah, just because the lives are hard. I like them when they go smoothly and I can schedule them in advance and make time for them. But yeah, yesterday I was like, oh my God, I've got to stop doing lives. Anyway, that's my thoughts on those books. I don't know. I'm so tired. I'm super tired. I'm excited for the next one. I don't know yet, what I'll do. I guess I'll just wait and see what other people think, whether or not I should do a live for this or if I should just post it like a video. I don't know. I'm considering. Maybe I'll just refilm this whole presentation as a video for these 3 books and repost it. I don't know. I just feel it'll be better quality. I can get my thoughts. He's not going to interrupt me. I'm not going to be rushing because I can edit things out. So I'm less likely to forget things. I don't know. That's my thoughts at the moment. Because I know other people have done that. I know Jan doesn't do them anymore for her book clubs. She just does a spoiler video. So I'm considering that because I feel that, I don't know, might work better. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. But yeah, that's basically all I had to say about these 3 books. I am glad I put them into one live instead of separate ones because I did not have enough to say, I think, to make a whole live for each. But yeah, I'm going to go. I will be in the chat in there, for people watching the replay. I really need some lip balm. And